So in the last Snare Saturday video, we did a blind test to see if you could hear the difference between a chrome over aluminum and chrome over brass snare drum. Well, in this Snare Saturday video, it's time to do another blind test, this time with two identical shells, but they're different depths. Yo, what's going on everybody? Nick Costa here, and in this video, it's time to see if you can hear the difference between a 5x14 and a 6.5x14 chrome over brass snare drum. Both shells are identical. They are made from the same company. The difference is that they are different depths. So it's time to see if you can hear the difference between the two and what some of those prominent sound characteristics are between the two different drums. Now, before we dive into this video, make sure you hit the subscribe button as well as the bell notification. That way you're notified of any additional content that I upload to the channel. Now, the chrome over brass snare drum. This was the predecessor to the Superphonic, which was a chrome over aluminum. Now, this chrome over brass configuration was known as the Super Ludwig and was introduced in the early 60s. Over time, the shell changed to become a chrome over aluminum, which then became the Superphonic. But popularity of that chrome over brass sound really started to skyrocket in the 90s because of its unique sound. Thankfully, Ludwig is a company that listens to drummers, and they have re-released recently chrome over brass snare drums. Now, in this video, I have two different chrome over brass shells. One is 5x14, the other is 6.5x14. Both shells are 1.2 millimeter seamless chrome over brass. Both drums also have 2.3 millimeter triple flange hoops. And both drums do have the P88 AC throw off. Now, there is a difference between the two. The 5x14 does have tube lugs, where the 6.5x14 has imperial lugs. That can make a subtle difference between the two drums just because of the fact that the imperial lugs have a rubber gasket behind them. And as you know, with tube lugs, there isn't as much lug contact with the shell. And some folks say that makes the shell resonate just a little bit more. But it will make it interesting because the tube lugs are on the drum that is shallower in depth, and the imperial lugs is on the drum that is deeper, which should be a little more resonant. So just like the last blind testing, what I'm going to do is play both drums back to back in three different tunings. I'm going to play it in a low tuning, a medium tuning, and then a high tuning. But since this is a blind test, can't really show you anything, and it would be super boring if it was just a blank screen. So just like all the other blind test videos, it is time to show you some more royalty-free B-roll. All right, so you've had the chance to hear both drums in a blind test through 3 different tunings. Feel free to identify what drum you thought each one was in the comment section below. Now, if you are unsure and you want to hear these drums again, let's do this blind test again. So, here's some more royalty-free B-roll. All right, so you've had the opportunity to hear both of these drums through 3 different tunings 2 times in a row. Did your decision on which drum was which change from hearing the first time to the second, or did it stay the same? Either way, it's time to identify what each drum was. So 2 snare drums that are chrome over brass, one being 5x14 and the other being 6.5x14. Were you able to identify which drum was which? Or did this video show you that the assumptions that you had of a drum of different depths was the opposite of what you were expecting? Either way, let me know in the comment section below. Also, I'd love to know which drum you liked the most, even if it was in a specific tuning. So make sure that you leave that in the comment section below as well. Now, if you have any questions, maybe on how I was tuning the drums, the gear that I am playing in this video, or anything else, feel free to leave that in the comment section as well, and I will try my best to answer them. If you want to see the earlier Snare Saturday videos where I showcase each one of these drums individually through a few more tunings, I've put links to those videos in the description below. Also, if you are interested in checking out some earlier videos from the Snare Saturday series, I've put that link to the playlist in the description below as well, and I'll also have it come up right here to make it a bit easier for you. Finally, if you enjoyed this video, please make sure that you give it a thumbs up. That way it makes it a little bit easier for others to find it. And that is it. Thank you so much for checking out this video on can you hear the difference between a 5x14 and a 6.5x14 chrome over brass snare drum. And until next time, see you later.